Fashion Emergency Hotline.
Help! I'm so excited about Black Friday sales, I can't sleep.
Put those worries to bed and get to Old Navy immediately.
Old Navy?
Yep, you snooze, you lose. Don't wait for Black Friday. Go get 40% off your entire purchase in-store right now.
40% off? Am I dreaming?
Nope, it's true. And today only, Old Navy's cozy sleepwear for the family is 50% off.
50% off sleepwear? Wow, thanks.
Don't thank me. Thank Old Navy. Valid 11/22. In stores only. Excludes licensed sleep clearance, gift cards, register lane items, jewelry, and today only deals.
Blog Talk Radio.
It's that time of week again.
It's time! You please shut the hell up! And of course, if you're not down with that, we got two words for you!
Immediately following Monday Night Raw, only on the WWE Network, the authentic, untold story of ECW. But you know what? If you have the WWE Network, listeners, you can watch that tomorrow. Because right now we got the Duane Hadley podcast. I'm your host, Duane Hadley. Alongside me is my co-host, the serious side of the show, Serious Brad. Brad, how you doing this week, bud?
Serious Brad in the house, baby. I'm ready to talk some wrestling because the last 3 days in WWE television has been monumental. My friend, I'm ready to do this. Let's talk.
Well, let's just start off with quite simple. Were you expecting things to be different with Survivor Series last night? Because, we're not going to all of a sudden, we could jump right into the main event. But let's just talk about the match. What's your opinion on the matches excluding the main event? What did you think?
Excluding the main event, well, let's just start off with the women's match, if you will.
Yeah.
Ladies
match. First, of course.
Yes, the ladies match, it was an amazing match, first of all. You had all the major talent there. And the thing is you had all of them display quite a bit of their talent, all their talent that they will. And not a one had the spotlight more on them, which was great because at the end, Charlotte, of course, attacked Bayley, and that is fantastic because everyone wants to see Charlotte and Bayley go up. So not only did Charlotte attacking Bayley just pretty much remind everyone, hey, I'm the queen, and she said it herself, the spotlight is still mine. But it also set it up for probably what is going to be one of the more epic rivalries in women's wrestling right now in the WWE.
Well, in general, in the history so far, we're seeing so much. With this women's revolution, we're seeing things that back in the Attitude Era, they probably would not have expected. It's a whole different playing field. We've got Bayley. I wouldn't mind seeing, Bayley, Charlotte, and Sasha together, doing one more match. I don't know. It's definitely, I'm feeling pride for the women's division, and I haven't felt that in a long, long time.
Absolutely. And anyone that says that they don't feel pride in the women's division at this point, they're not watching wrestling. They're not watching the WWE. You have a lot of the women now back in the Diva era, in the Attitude Era, like your Trish Stratus, and of course Lita, who are almost in tears every time that they talk about the women's division right now, how proud they are of it. So, like I said, if you're saying that you're not proud of the women's division, you're not watching wrestling.
Well, talking about the women's division, we're gonna get back to Survivor Series, of course. Mickie James returned to WWE for TakeOver, going against Asuka. Asuka, and that was that was an awesome match. Mickie still has it. I don't care what you say. If you say, oh, she's too old, she's she's had her best years behind her. You know what? 2 words to you: suck it. She still has it. She still has it. I was at the edge of my seat watching that on the WWE Network.
Well, absolutely. Mickey James. I'm surprised. I kind of feel a little guilty not mentioning her back when I was talking about the women back in the Attitude Era. Mickey James is amazing. She's beautiful. She's great on the mic. She's amazing in the ring. And on top of that, Asuka's reign in NXT has been obviously dominant. Thing is, her dominance and for lack of better words, don't get me wrong, all the women in NXT are amazing talent. Bayley, of course, is amazing talent, and I'm not taking any credit from them. But Asuka needed a legend to come in and solidify and legitimize, I can't say that word right now, Asuka's run as the NXT Women's Champion.
Well, is it safe to
and Mickey
say,
James coming in and doing that, it was perfect.
Well, is it safe to say that she could be, nice little segue, the women's in NXT, the Goldberg of NXT, maybe, of the women? Because she's like, the question is, who's next? No pun intended, of course.
Right, yeah, she's always saying, yeah, absolutely. And Asuka, she's a freight train. She's a freight train with a beautiful smile. And that's a scary combination, because you've got a girl that comes down in a geisha mask and takes it off and has that smile, and you're just like, oh, that's adorable, you know what I'm saying? She's going to, what's next? She's going to come down with a Hello Kitty a purse or something. No. This is Asuka. This woman comes down to do one thing and one thing only, and that's to show the crowd that she is not green, that she's not wet behind the ears, that she is here to make sure that her name is cemented in one of the best developmental wrestling academies, organizations that there is. And she's ready for the big time. She's ready to go to the main roster, and they better watch out. Because when she comes, she's going to come for those belts, for one of those belts.
Oh, absolutely. Now, talking worthy of the main card, Shinsuke Nakamura lost his title against Samoa Joe. The question is, could we possibly? Well, we've got Royal Rumble coming up in next month, I believe. No, in January. Could we see him make a Royal Rumble debut? Maybe. I think that would be the best time to have Shinsuke Nakamura debut.
That would be almost perfect. Almost perfect. Let me tell you why. Because one, Goldberg is going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah.
Lots of spotlight on Goldberg, and Shinsuke Nakamura deserves absolute 100% attention on him. Like, I almost feel like when he comes to the main roster, they should almost build a pay-per-view around Shinsuke Nakamura, because, I mean, his run is just everything about that man. Everything about Shinsuke Nakamura, his entrance, his mannerisms, of course his skill in the ring.
Yes.
He is just, it's almost like his clothes, when your clothes get too small for you. You know what I'm saying? NXT, I feel, is just too small for Shinsuke Nakamura, and it's time for him to go to the main roster. And and with him being defeated by Samoa Joe, absolutely not.
Well, you know what? Talking about Goldberg being in the Royal Rumble, words cannot explain how confused I was at that main event at Survivor Series. How quick that was, dude. I mean, like, I was texting you and I was tweeting. I'm like, I was messaging a couple of friends of mine on Facebook, and I'm like, wait, what did I just see? Did I miss something? Did I blink? Did I miss it? Because that went on for a minute and 26 seconds?
Yeah, I had a few tweets from a few people saying that they thought they were reruns at first of the old match, and I was like, no, sir. That right there was showing the WWE Universe. scratch that. Showing the professional wrestling world that Goldberg is the man, is the myth, is the legend. And like you said, when you talk about a man's family, you just gave him all the fuel that he needs for his fire that was already lit. And he went in there, and he blew him away. He blew everyone's mind, including Brock Lesnar's. You saw the man's face when he got pushed down on the apron.
Oh, I love that.
It was like, what was going on?
I love that look he gave when he got shoved to the ground. When Brock got shoved to the ground, that look of WTF. I'm not keeping it clean, of course, for the kids, of course. I was like, what the heck? Like, I'm just sitting there like, he conquered. Dude, the Beast got conquered. And that is what
fantastic.
makes me think, what I'm thinking is going to happen is, and I know you were asking me this. Let me pull up the text. You were asking me prediction. Who the heck? I'm sorry, listeners. We are watching Monday Night Raw right now. I don't know if you're watching it, but yeah, I had a feeling there was a man that comes out with a Sin Cara mask, black and white, attacking Seth Rollins, and yeah, it's Chris Jericho. No surprise.
No, of course.
Now, Chris Jericho and Roman Reigns both are banned, listeners. If you're watching this later on, I'm talking, because this is still on Blog Talk Radio, even if you don't listen to it live. It's on iTunes, not live, of course, and it's also on www.DuaneHadleyPodcast.tk. We're on so many different sites. If you watched Monday Night Raw this week, you would have recognized that. It's definitely a great main event. But anyway, back to Goldberg. I think, what was the question you were asking me about?
I was saying we should each come up with a theory of what's going to happen with the road to WrestleMania for Goldberg, and then it's like a little friendly wager, if you will.
You know what? That's a great idea, man. I think, let's see. What's the outcome if you lose? Which of course, let's state the facts here. You're Team Red. I'm Team Blue. Didn't Team Blue beat Team Red?
No, I don't think they did.
That was just a fluke. You know what? That was just a fluke. You guys, the only reason why you guys won was because of we were having a bad day.
That's
Shane McMahon got injured.
People get cold feet and they get afraid of the big brother, and that's cool. That's understandable. And next time,
the only reason why we lost, maybe next year, but the only reason why SmackDown lost was because Shane McMahon got injured. There was actually, if you saw this, listeners, he was going for
coast to coast.
That typical Shane McMahon, coast to coast. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. And he got interrupted by a spear from Roman, and it injured him. I think he injured like his neck or his back or something like that. And there's actually reports online that Shane McMahon is fine. So, thank God for that. I'm glad that Shane's okay. But yeah, I think that's the only reason why you guys beat SmackDown is because SmackDown was so dedicated to making sure that their commissioner was okay. But that was then. This is now. I don't know what stipulation we would do, man. When loser does what? Something.
Well,
of course, we should have romance.
We'll have to think of something. We'll announce what the loser will do on next week.
There'll be more information. There'll be more information next week. We'll figure something out because we're not even starting the road to WrestleMania yet. That doesn't start till
January.
When does that start?
January, probably end of November.
Something like that. But yeah, we'll figure it out then. We'll work out the we'll have my people call your people and we'll figure it out and we'll do this professionally. But anyway, what did you all in all, what did you think of Survivor Series? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was there certain things you would have changed? Certain things that you expected?
No, I don't. The thing is, I was honest, just like everyone else. Really, I feel Survivor Series wasn't promoted to its fullest potential. You got you got the 4 major pay-per-views. You got your Royal Rumble, you got your SummerSlam, you got your WrestleMania, and you got your Survivor Series. Those 4 should be advertised and promoted all year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it wasn't, and no one, and they didn't build up the fan base quite enough. So everyone was just going into this thinking that it was just another pay-per-view to get the crowd by. Absolutely not. This pay-per-view was amazing. It was phenomenal. It set up so many storylines. I mean, you've got a possible storyline with Baron Corbin now. You got a possible storyline with Dean Ambrose and the Shield reuniting.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the Miz one, of course. I mean, he's going to continue on. I love seeing Miz with the belt. I've said this before. I love heels that have belts. I love good heels that have belts. And Miz is an amazing heel. Charlotte she's the queen.
Oh gosh.
And Seth Rollins, when he has the belt and when his arrogance comes through, Seth Rollins is probably one of the best as far as I'm concerned. As a heel champion. What other storylines were set up? I mean, what I liked, this is one of my favorite things, and I tried really hard to like Roman Reigns. I really do. Honestly, I do.
Oh, me too.
But and this is my favorite part, he came out to booze like he always does. As soon as his music hits, it's almost like, a bass tube blows up of booze, and you can just feel it even sitting at home.
Right.
But as soon as he reunited with Seth Rollins, and they were just kind of like doing their thing, and Dean Ambrose was doing their thing, and when they put when they did their thing, when they put who did they put up on their shoulders? I think it was Rusev, was it maybe, or
no? What, you're talking about last night?
Yeah, last night.
Last night.
Either way, they did their old thing where they put them up on Roman's shoulders, and as soon as they started doing that stuff, Roman was getting cheered for everything that he did, and that just kind of shows you how fickle really the fan base is. But I mean, their Survivor Series just opened up so much, and they did a really good job. And the outcome of the Goldberg and Brock Lesnar match, superb. They couldn't have done it any better. That's gonna be talked about for so long, and the buzz right now, of course, is phenomenal. And if they do this right, it's gonna cement Goldberg permanently as a legend. And I don't know, Brock Lesnar. I mean, if he plays this right, his name's gonna carry on for quite a long time too. So.
You know what's funny is there's a gentleman by the name of Jason Solomon. You can follow him at Solo Monster. He's got a podcast, and he was ranting on about the Survivor Series review, and he got an email. He was showing this on Twitter. It says from a fan of his named Marcus. It says, and I quote, "I just got done listening to your Survivor Series review, and I have to say I'm disgusted. You need to understand that not every match can be a 20-minute Kurt Angle classic. That's the problem with a lot of wrestling fans, such as yourself these days. I guarantee you people are going to be talking about how awesome that segment was for years to come and what a special moment it was for Goldberg. And one of the last great moments involving an Attitude Era guy," which I agree. "But here you come with your bitching, pardon my French, and moaning, analyzing this to death. You don't understand how much power you have with your listeners," going on and on, pretty much telling him that he needs to watch how he acts and he's got responsibilities, all that as a podcaster. But yeah, that's, when I'm reading this, it's like, yeah, there's people out there that will nitpick it so much. I'm like, you know what? Did you enjoy it? Yeah, that's all that matters. It's like what JR once said: doesn't matter who wins, doesn't matter who loses, as long as there's butts in the seats and people watching it. That's all that matters. Did you like it? I liked it. Did you like it, Brad? We liked it. That's all that matters.
And that's the thing is like Survivor Series had everything. It had the competition was fierce. The competition was fierce. The promos were on point. No one got hurt, so that's always good. I mean, well, people got hurt, but people are okay, and that's what's important. No one is out for 6 months, and you had comedic acts from friggin' Kevin Owens and Jericho. I mean, that alone, Kevin Owens and Jericho joking around and messing around and doing their thing, that's remnants of a little group I'd like to call DX. And I tell you what, I miss DX, and there hasn't been anyone yet that could even add up to Triple H and Shawn Michaels when it comes to joking around and being on the camera and cutting promos. Those two could do it.
I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. We're seeing a little bit of it with the New Day and a little bit of it with Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, a little bit of it. But I mean, you know what, Enzo and Cass. I mean, what better tag team? Road Dogg and Badass Billy Gunn. I mean, that was a tag team that was perfect fit for them. Could you imagine seeing those four rolling around with each other? They'd be unstoppable.
Oh my gosh, dude! You know what, listeners? I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you tuning in, listening to this. Listeners, you can follow the Duane Hadley podcast on Twitter at the official Duane. You can follow our co-host, Serious Brad. What's your Twitter page again?
It's the actual Twitter page is Wrestling Fan Forum, but my tag is at Serious Brad.
So yeah, check out at Serious Brad.
And of course,
check
I'm on
out
YouTube and stuff.
At the official Duane. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. And but check us out on Twitter. Share your opinion on everything wrestling related. If you want us to read your tweets, you got to use that hashtag, the Duane Hadley Podcast. Follow the Duane Hadley Podcast on Facebook, facebook.com/the Duane Hadley Podcast. Check us out on iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, of course, and of course, the website that was created by a good friend of mine, Jeff German, who likes to be referred to as Duane Hadley Podcast's official web designer and technician, apparently.
That is a long nameplate.
I know. He better not expect like a vanity plate for his car. Check out our website, the Duane Hadley Podcast.tk. Of course, the website was created with Weebly.com. If you want to create a podcast, go to Weebly.com. I'm sorry, if you want to create a website, go to Weebly.com. It is free to create your sites, and you get great reviews from stats of unique visitors, page views by week, and great tips in order to make your website professional. But anyway, that's all we're going to do today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we leave, once again, Brad, what's your catchphrase?
It's never a bad time to be serious.
And remember, keep it smooth and classy, my pals. And Brad and I will see each and every one of you again next week on another episode of the Duane Hadley Podcast.
And you better be listening because we're going to come to everyone's door and knock on the door and give you a Bluetooth or something like that so you can listen to us. We got stuff to say, people, and this is going to be one of the best podcasts in the world by the time that we're done with it. So tune in, be one of the first, be the Genesis crew, and listen to the Duane Hadley Podcast with Duane Hadley and me, Serious Brad.
And of course, if you're not down with what we have to say, then I got 2 words for you. Comment below. Take it easy, everybody. We'll see you all next time. By the way, on behalf of Serious Brad and myself, have a happy Thanksgiving. Keep it what it is. Spend time with your family. Be thankful for what you have. And remember, there's people out there that don't have what we have, so be thankful for what you have, of course. Keep it smooth and classy, and I'll see each and every one of you next week for another episode of the Duane Hadley Podcast. Later. It's that time of week again.
It's time. You please shut the hell up.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
This Thursday through Saturday at Kohl's, it's time to spread the holiday cheer. So whip up some cookies with a KitchenAid Artisan Stand Mixer, just $299.99 after mail-in rebate. Save the world with Mr. Potato Head Marvel Superheroes for $29.99. And make her eyes light up with a Swarovski ring, just $21.99. At Kohl's, you'll save a little more with an extra 20% off and earn a little more with Kohl's Cash, so you can give a little more this holiday. Kohl's. Select styles, offer valid 12/1 through 12/5. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Emergency hotline. Help. I'm so excited about Black Friday sales, I can't sleep.
Put those worries to bed and get to Old Navy immediately.
Old Navy?
No, you snooze, you lose. Don't wait for Black Friday. Go get 40% off your entire purchase in-store right now.
40% off? Am I dreaming?
No, it's true. And today only, Old Navy's cozy sleepwear for the family is 50% off.
50% off sleepwear? Wow, thanks.
Don't thank me. Thank Old Navy. Valid 11/22. In stores only. Excludes license, sleep clearance, gift cards, registered line items, jewelry, and today only deals.
Blog Talk Radio.
It's that time of week again.
It's time to please shut the hell up! And of course, if you're not down with that, we got to work for you!
Immediately following Monday Night Raw, only on the WWE Network, the authentic, untold story of ECW. You know, if you have the WWE Network listeners, you can watch that tomorrow. So right now, we got the Duane Hadley podcast. I'm your host, Duane Hadley. Alongside me is my co-host, the serious side